It's a crime in which those targeted are often described as hidden in plain sight. And now there are fears that the pandemic could make victims of human trafficking even less visible. Figures show the number of people being exploited in Scotland, including children, is continuing to rise. Ahead of Anti-Slavery Day on Sunday, STV News has been hearing one woman's story. Louise Jose reports.
You don't know that you've been trafficked. You're like a child, you know what they're doing is wrong and you want to get out, but you don't feel that you'll ever get out. When I was there, I thought it was the end of my life.
Anna came to the UK from Africa with the promise of a good job and a better future. But from the moment she arrived, the reality was very different.
It kind of started getting weird at the airport. I was not allowed to reveal my real name and I was using a different passport. It just didn't feel right and I felt really scared.
Anna was then put in the back of a van and taken to a house.
I just thought maybe we're supposed to live there. They were all girls, some younger than me. Being there, I didn't realise what sort of a job I was coming to. There's a lot of drug usage, alcohol, STD illness in there. If the people who run it think you're unfit for work, they do take you to the hospital, but just sort of dump you on a side street. They found me and put me back in the house again.
Anna eventually escaped from her captors, but the ordeal has stayed with her.
It can be a really long, traumatic experience. Even though you're out of it, I do still get sleepless nights and I wake up in a horrible dream, shaking and wet.
Charities helping victims of human trafficking like Anna say the pandemic is now making their job even harder.
There's businesses that has closed down, such as your nail bars and your car washes, and people are becoming more hidden, just as ourselves in society as well. So that's a big challenge for us as people that are trying to identify individuals.
The number of human trafficking victims in Scotland has increased every year since 2013, when 99 people were identified. By 2018, this had risen to 228. And by 2019, it was 512. That's an increase of 125% compared with the previous year. A Stirling University report found children were among those being trafficked to Scotland, with the majority coming from Vietnam. Police have now recruited 2 Vietnamese officers as part of efforts to tackle trafficking.
This is a hidden crime by its very nature, but what we're wanting to do is to root it out and to deal with it.
Forms of human trafficking include sexual exploitation and forced labour, with criminals typically using intimidation and threats of violence against their victims. It's thought there are many more victims of human trafficking than those currently recorded.
This is often referred to as a hidden crime, and I think it's become even more hidden throughout the past few months.
The misery caused by modern slavery and human trafficking in Scotland, we can't sit by and let it happen underneath our noses. It's humans and it's their lives.
To adapt to COVID, criminals are now changing the way they operate.
So we think that they might have moved into areas like food, fishing, food and drink production, that sort of thing. And so Police Scotland have done a lot of work with businesses and organisations that are working in those sectors to try and help them spot the signs.
Anna says more awareness and help is now needed for victims.
It's so important for people to know that human trafficking is happening and it could be happening near you.
Louise Hosey, STV News.